I invite you to step back in time and listen to our Lord tell a story that was written down in Luke chapter 18, verses 9 through 14. Listen to the first verse, which gives us the reason why the Lord told this particular parable. Verse 9, he also told this parable to some who trusted in themselves that they were righteous and treated others with contempt. 2 men went up into the temple to pray, one a Pharisee and the other a tax collector. The Pharisee, standing by himself, prayed thus, God, I thank you that I am not like other men, extortioners, unjust, adulterers, or even like this tax collector. I fast twice a week and I give tithes of all that I get. But the tax collector, standing far off, would not even lift up his eyes to heaven, but beat his breast, saying, God, be merciful to me, a sinner. I tell you, this man went down to his house justified rather than the other. For everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, but the one who humbles himself will be exalted. In the time of Jesus, tax collectors were not honest men. They overcharged people and pocketed money for themselves. And even worse than that, they had the power to send folks into slavery if they were too poor to pay the exorbitant taxes the Romans were charging them. But in this moment, praying before the Lord, this tax collector knew he was a sinner and that what he was doing was wrong. In contrast, the Pharisee was an official spiritual leader of the Jews, but had a big problem with blindness as he thought that somehow his long list of good deeds was substitute for his hateful attitude towards the humility of a man who was bowing his heart before the Lord. While this humble, praying tax collector is nameless, we know that one of the most devoted disciples of the Lord, Matthew, was appointed to write down the gospel, telling the story of Jesus from a Hebrew point of view, to prove Christ is the Messiah you have been waiting for. So this story is not accidentally shared with us, that even a lowly tax collector can change his life and bring glory to the Son of God. So what were the innermost thoughts that convinced the Pharisee to tell God how wonderful he was in comparison with this sinner? Well, of course, it was his ape, his arrogance, pride, and ego that ruled his heart and his mouth to enumerate his actions, thinking that somehow God did not know how selfish and arrogant his inner spirit really was. As true Christians have had their sins washed away in baptism, we are, in the purest sense, now saints and not unsaved sinners. But in the same sense as our tax collector here, we are all of us, even New Testament Christians who wear the blood of the Lord, lower than he, and should have constant memory that we live each day by his grace and his mercy and not our own. Consider James chapter 4, beginning in verse 6. God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Submit yourselves, therefore, to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw near to God, and he will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. Let's skip to verse 10. Humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will exalt you. Do not speak evil against one another, brothers. Well, deep inside each of us, in the same moment, fear and love cannot exist simultaneously. My need to judge others and my desire to love them cannot exist in the same thought, the same feeling, the same moment of time. It is not possible. This is why noticing your feelings is so important. You see, when we live in fear of being one down, we may deliver preemptive strikes, belittling others. For so much of our need to put others down is an attempt to build ourselves up and show that you are one down and therefore I get to be one up. And I really believe that in the moment that you stop feeling the awe and the humility of the tax collector, you become the Pharisee. Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 33. The fear of the Lord is instruction in wisdom, and humility comes before honor. And I have noticed that those who have humble but strong integrity, that they are living in a way that is pleasing to the Lord, that they rarely feel that they are one down or one up to other human beings, and therefore have no insecure need to put others down. Living your days before the Lord, feeling compassion for the souls around you and constant gratitude for the mercy that's been poured on you is very humbling and liberating, because the grace of God alone gives me the opportunity to stand in his presence, and you can love and embrace the joy of humility. Philippians 2 verse 3, do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. When you know the incredible love that has powered Jesus saving you, you know how worthy you are, and that your self-esteem lies not within the power of others, the opinions of others, or in comparison to others, but as a precious child of the Most High God. Listen to 2 Corinthians 5, verse 14. For the love of Christ controls us, because we have concluded this, that one has died for all, therefore all have died. And you can be compassionate to others because of the great compassion God has shown you. You can be thankful. Be thankful for your breath, for your hands, for the roof over your head. But most of all, be thankful for your Father's love that will never leave you nor forsake you forever.
In a circle of love we stand round Jesus Christ, singing praise to the Lamb for his sacrifice. By his blood we are born in God's one family, nevermore all alone, kindred souls now are we. And so we forgive our mistakes and the hurts that we make, knowing God sees our hearts from above, and with all compassion and care each one's burdens we bear for the family of God. Is a circle of love. We rejoice in our Father, to whom we belong, and as children made holy adore him in song, So as brothers and sisters, no nation, no race, in our weakness and fear we each other embrace. And so we forgive our mistakes and the hurts that we make, knowing God sees our hearts from above, and with all compassion and care each one's burdens we bear for the family of God. Is a circle